This message isn't for everyone, but if your life has felt like a drought, if you've been crying behind closed doors, barely holding on, then God says, you're the one. Your drought is over. Abundance is here. Have you ever reached a point where you felt completely empty? Where you looked around and thought, God, where are you in all of this? Like your prayers were bouncing off the ceiling, like nothing in your life made sense anymore. If you're nodding right now, then listen carefully, because this isn't a coincidence. It's confirmation. What you've been calling a drought, heaven has been calling preparation. You were never forgotten. You were never overlooked. What felt like divine silence was actually divine strategy. God doesn't ignore His chosen ones. He hides them. He protects them. He separates them, not to punish them, but to prepare them. You've been in the wilderness, yes, but wilderness is never the end. It's the middle ground between who you used to be and who you are about to become. There were moments you almost gave up, moments when the bills didn't make sense, the heartbreak hit too hard, the rejection pierced too deep. And you thought, why me? But what if I told you it had to be you? What if the struggle wasn't a sign that God abandoned you, but proof that you've been marked for more? Because people who carry powerful purposes often go through painful pruning. You see, nothing grows in comfort, and God loves you too much to let you settle. That relationship had to fall apart. That job had to end. That season had to close, not because you were cursed, but because you were called. Called into something bigger, higher, and holier than you could imagine. And now, the shift is happening. There's a spiritual alarm going off in heaven. Angels are moving. Doors that were closed are beginning to unlock. What didn't work out before is about to make sense. The people who overlooked you are about to see you rise. The places you were rejected from are going to ask for you back. Why? Because when God says the drought is over, it is over. And when abundance begins, nothing and no one can stop it. This is more than a motivational message. This is a divine announcement. God is releasing rain over your life. Spiritual rain, financial rain, emotional rain, healing rain. This isn't just about money or success. This is about wholeness, restoration, rebirth. This is about you stepping into the version of yourself that the pain was preparing. Everything that dried up around you, the friendships, the opportunities, the dreams, they didn't die. They were buried for a season. But God is resurrecting what looked lost. What seemed impossible is now aligning. And the thing is, you won't even have to chase it. Blessings are about to chase you down. I need you to stop saying, maybe next year. I need you to stop playing small. I need you to stop agreeing with lack, with fear, with unworthiness. God is not giving you leftovers. He's not giving you a portion. He's giving you overflow. But you have to make room. Make room in your mind for abundance. Let go of the scarcity mindset. Let go of the belief that it's too late, that you missed it, that you're not enough. You're right on time. You're exactly where you need to be. And everything you lost in the drought is nothing compared to what's about to be restored in your season of abundance. God is not a God of partial blessings. He's not a halfway healer. He doesn't tease His children. When He brings rain, it doesn't drizzle, it pours. And that's what's coming. A downpour, a release, a breakthrough so big, it will make sense of every tear you cried. But before you see it in your hands, you have to feel it in your spirit. Do you feel it? That stirring in your soul, that tug on your heart, that fire waking back up in your bones. That's not just emotion. That's not hype. That's the Holy Spirit confirming that something is shifting in the unseen. That heaven is backing you up. That God has not forgotten a single seed you sowed in faith. Every time you gave when you had little. Every time you praised Him while broken. Every time you chose faith over fear, prayer over panic, worship over worry. Those were seeds. And now, the harvest is coming. Not because you earned it, but because you endured. Not because you were perfect, but because you were obedient. The drought wasn't forever. It was only a chapter. And now the page is turning. God says, "Behold, I do a new thing. Do you not perceive it? I'm making a way in the wilderness and streams in the desert." He didn't say you have to make the way. He said He will. Your only job is to believe it, to walk like it's already done, to praise like the breakthrough has already arrived. Because it has. You may not see the rain yet, but the clouds are forming. You may not see the money yet, but the favor is moving. You may not see the opportunity yet, but the angels are arranging. And when it shows up, it'll happen suddenly. You'll wake up to good news. You'll walk into unexpected favor. You'll receive phone calls that shift everything. But don't wait until the blessing shows up to believe. Speak life now. Speak abundance now. Stand tall now, because the shift isn't coming. It's already started. You don't need a sign in the sky to know it's real. You don't need a prophet to tap you on the shoulder. You've already felt it. In the stillness, in the quiet moments when everyone else is asleep and you're lying there, eyes wide open, heart pounding with an ache that words can't describe. That ache isn't weakness, it's spiritual sensitivity. That's your spirit reaching out, stretching, aligning with heaven's timing. You are more in tune than you've ever been, and that's no accident. The people around you may not understand it. They might say you're dreaming too big, hoping for too much, believing in something unrealistic. But what they call unrealistic, God calls prophetic. What they laugh at now, they'll be in awe of later. That's how divine reversals work. The same mouths that doubted you will one day testify about you, because when God blesses, He does it publicly. You've been hidden long enough, and that was strategic. God didn't hide you because you were weak. He hid you because you were valuable. He hid you because He didn't want you contaminated by what others were doing. While they chased platforms, God was building your foundation. While they ran for fame, you were rooted in faith. And now, when the winds of life blow, their houses will shake, but yours will stand, because your house wasn't built on sand. It was built on surrender. You surrendered when it didn't make sense. You gave when it hurt. You worshiped when you felt empty. You praised while bleeding, and heaven took note of every moment. Nothing was wasted. Not one tear, not one sacrifice, not one silent battle you fought behind closed doors. God saw it all. And now He says, it's your time. You may not feel ready, but grace will carry you. You may not have the resources yet, but provision is on the way. God doesn't need your perfection. He needs your positioning. And you, chosen one, are finally in position. Position to receive, position to overflow, position to reign. This new season isn't just about breakthrough. It's about identity. God is reminding you who you really are. You are not broke. You are not forgotten. You are not a mistake. You are a royal priesthood, a walking miracle, a living testimony. You survived what others couldn't. You overcame what should have killed you. And you did it while keeping your heart soft and your faith strong. That alone qualifies you for the abundance that's coming. But here's the truth. Not everyone can come with you. The drought separated you. The blessing will elevate you, and elevation requires disconnection. Don't be surprised when people start falling off. Don't be shocked when conversations fade. It's not rejection. It's redirection. God is clearing your space so He can fill it with what's holy, what's right, what's worthy of your next level. Some people only loved you in your drought. They were comfortable with you being small. They were okay when you needed them. But abundance exposes loyalty. Blessing reveals character. And when the overflow starts, so will the truth. But don't be afraid of that. Don't grieve what God is removing. If it had the capacity to go with you, it wouldn't be falling away. Let it fall. Let the fake friendships fade. Let the old mentalities break. Let the shame melt off you. This is a shedding season. You can't carry old weight into new wealth. You can't wear past pain in present promise. The you that's rising is not the you that was broken. You've been rebuilt, remade, refined. And now God is ready to reveal what He's been doing in the dark. You didn't need a spotlight. You needed shaping. You didn't need applause. You needed anointing. And that's what He gave you. Quietly, faithfully, consistently. Now you carry oil. You carry authority. You carry power that can't be denied. And the enemy knows it. That's why the attacks intensified. That's why hell tried to break your mind. Because your breakthrough terrifies the kingdom of darkness. But they failed. Every attack failed. Every lie fell flat. You're still standing. You're still here. And that means the enemy lost. Big time. And now, the rain begins. Not the kind of rain that ruins your plans, but the kind that waters your purpose, the kind that brings things back to life. You're about to see dormant seeds explode, long-forgotten prayers return with answers. You'll look around and won't even recognize your life, not because it got worse, but because it got better than you imagined. And here's the wild part. You won't even have to fight for it. God is going to hand it to you. Supernatural blessings, unexplainable favor. He will make people give to you. He will cause systems to shift for you. He will align strangers to help you. Why? Because you trusted Him when it didn't make sense. He rewards faith, always. So don't shrink now. Don't retreat. Don't talk yourself out of it. Step into it. Own your anointing. Speak like it's already yours. Move like the gates of heaven are open, because they are. You've been faithful over little, and now He's making you ruler over much. This is the moment you've been praying for. The moment the heavens say, "Well done." The moment where peace flows like a river and provision chases you down. Not because life got easy, but because you stopped doubting and started walking in divine alignment. You're not just entering a new chapter. You're stepping into a divine rewrite. Everything is about to shift. The drought is officially over. The forecast has changed. And you, beloved, are about to dance in the rain. When the rain starts, don't be surprised if it feels overwhelming at first. You've been dry so long that abundance might feel unnatural. You've gotten used to surviving. You've learned to stretch pennies and ration joy. You've carried blessings like burdens because you didn't want to lose them. But now you're entering into a place where overflow is normal, not rare. Get used to the flood. Get used to daily provision. Get used to doors opening not by force, but by favor. You've waited long enough. And you didn't just wait. You grew while waiting. You listened while God was silent. You stayed even when it hurt. And heaven honors that kind of obedience. See, not everyone can handle the wait. Most people want shortcuts, fast answers, quick wins. But you were willing to endure the wilderness. That's why you're receiving the promise. You didn't curse God in the drought. You still prayed. You still loved. You still helped others when you had nothing. That is what separates the chosen from the common. Anyone can praise when it's easy, but it's your praise in pain that made the difference. It's your hope in darkness that touched heaven. You were being watched, not by men, but by angels, and they've been released on assignment for you. Yes, you heard that right. There are angels assigned to your abundance, beams of light moving things behind the scenes, guiding people toward you, removing obstacles you didn't even know existed. Heaven is not just rooting for you, it's working for you. That dream, that idea, that opportunity you can't shake, it's divine, it's real, and it's time. But let's talk about this abundance, because it's not just about money. It's about wholeness. It's about peace that doesn't leave when the bills come. It's about relationships that feel like safety, not survival. It's about walking into a room and knowing that you belong, no longer shrinking to make others feel comfortable. God is not just giving you stuff. He's restoring your identity. You won't have to beg to be understood. You won't have to explain your worth. You won't have to fight for crumbs when the table was prepared for you. And not just any table, a table in the presence of your enemies. That's how deep God's favor runs. That's how personal this blessing is. He's not just lifting you. He's making sure everyone who doubted you sees it happen. Not out of revenge, but out of revelation. They'll see that your God is real. They'll see that His hand has been on you all along. And some of them will repent. Some will ask how you did it. And when they ask, don't say it was hustle. Don't say it was strategy. Say it was grace. Say it was obedience. Because this isn't about proving yourself. It's about glorifying Him. And He will get the glory. From the elevation, from the wealth, from the miracles that begin to flood your life. Don't be surprised when favor follows you everywhere, when people begin to treat you differently without knowing why. That's the glory on you. That's the oil you carry. And it's not just for show, it's for service. You were blessed to be a blessing. You were healed to become a healer. You were raised up so you could raise others. So start preparing now. Prepare for more. Prepare for the increase. Prepare for what you've never seen before. That means making room in your heart, your habits, your home. Clean out the clutter. Get rid of the spiritual junk that's taking up space. The fear, the doubt, the memories that say you're not enough. Because when God shows up, He fills every empty place, but He won't compete with what you're still holding on to. This is your call to release. Release the version of you that was surviving. Release the shame you've carried like armor. Release the lie that says good things don't last. Because this blessing won't be temporary. This isn't a one-time miracle. This is a new atmosphere, a new rhythm, a divine reality. You're not just touching abundance, you're becoming it. The evidence of God's goodness will be all over your life. And yes, it may come suddenly. One day it will look like nothing is happening, and the next, everything will shift. You'll wake up and emails will come. Phones will ring. Connections will align. Resources will appear, not by accident, but by appointment. This is the season of divine appointments. Encounters that feel random but are actually written into your destiny. So stay alert. Stay grateful. And don't stop moving. Abundance doesn't mean you sit still. It means you walk by faith even faster. You take bolder steps. You dream without apology. You make plans that reflect the promises, not the problems. Because your reality is catching up to your revelation. That's what's happening right now. Your spirit saw it before your eyes did. That's why you couldn't shake the feeling something big was coming. That's why you've been uncomfortable in familiar places. God was enlarging your capacity before expanding your territory. You can't pour new wine into old wineskins, and you can't enter this season with last season's mindset. So lift your head, square your shoulders, look forward, because what's ahead of you is so full of light that it'll make your darkest days seem like distant memories. The storm didn't break you, it built you. And now you're ready to carry what others couldn't. This is not hype. This is holy. And if your spirit is stirring right now, that's your confirmation. The drought is not just ending. It already ended. You're standing in the beginning of overflow. And from here on out, it only gets better. You're not entering into abundance alone. There are people divinely assigned to your journey now. Kingdom connections. People who speak your language without needing an introduction. People who recognize the oil on your life before you even explain your story. These aren't casual relationships. These are covenant alignments. And they're part of your harvest. Because harvest is never just about what you receive. It's also about who you become and who walks with you. The drought was isolating. It made you feel forgotten. But God was using the quiet to protect you. He didn't let you bond with people who would drain your destiny. He kept you hidden until the right people could see you correctly. Not through jealousy, not through competition, but through honor. And now, the right eyes are on you. Not because you forced visibility, not because you tried to be seen, but because you stayed faithful in the shadows. That's the beauty of divine timing. When God is ready to release you, no man can block it. You don't need approval to walk into what's already yours. The promotion you were passed over for. The relationship that fell apart. The doors that stayed shut, they weren't delays, they were divine redirections. Because God is not just giving you a blessing, He's giving you a protected blessing. One that won't destroy you, one that won't attract leeches, one that won't feel like a burden in disguise. The drop taught you to discern. And now you know the difference between what looks good and what is truly sent from heaven. Don't settle. Not now. Not when you're this close. You've cried too many tears to compromise. You've endured too much to accept anything less than what God promised. And that's exactly what He's bringing to you. Not a substitute, not a half blessing, but the exact thing your spirit has been waiting for. And here's what's wild. It's coming faster than you think. You're going to wake up and everything will be different. The heaviness will be gone. The lack will lift. The connections you used to chase will start chasing you. Why? Because when your drought ends, heaven releases rain without measure. No more drops here and there. No more barely enough. This is the downpour. And with that downpour comes clarity. You'll start to see why things had to happen the way they did. The losses, the delays, the betrayals, they all push you to this moment. Because abundance isn't just something you hold, it's something you understand. God needed you to be ready so you wouldn't waste what He was about to pour out. So get your baskets ready. Prepare for answered prayers. Prepare for days where you'll laugh again. Prepare for a life that doesn't feel like a fight every morning. And if part of you is still hesitant, if some old fear still whispers, "What if it doesn't happen?" Rebuke it. That voice is not your friend. That voice is rooted in the wilderness. But you're not in the wilderness anymore. You're standing in the promised land. And the voice of doubt has no authority where faith has already claimed victory. Speak different now. Walk different now. Expect different now. You are not who you were in the drought. That version of you has evolved. The you that questioned everything. Grown. The you that almost gave up. Gone. The you standing here today. A warrior. A witness. A receiver. This is your moment to be everything God called you to be. And it's not too late. Don't let age, past mistakes, or timelines deceive you. When God moves, He redeems time. He restores years. He multiplies moments. What should have taken 10 years can happen in 10 days. What was lost in one season can be returned in double in the next. That's the kind of abundance we're talking about. Heaven's kind. Supernatural kind. And you don't have to explain it to anyone. You don't have to prove why you're being blessed. People may not understand it. Let them talk. Let them guess. Let them assume. Your only job is to receive and keep walking in obedience. The same God who brought you through the drought is the same God who will sustain you in the abundance. Don't just be grateful. Be bold. Be confident. Faith is not timid. Faith says, "I expect good things." Faith walks like the promise is already fulfilled. And when you walk in faith, God meets your steps with acceleration. Suddenly things move faster. Opportunities find you. Healing reaches you. And peace wraps around you like a blanket you didn't know you needed. This is more than a season. It's a lifestyle. A shift in your spirit. A reset in your reality. And it's permanent. Because the lesson has been learned, the character has been shaped, and now the reward is being released. The drought was the test, and you passed it. With tears, with scars, but you passed. And now comes the treasure. So speak it. I am walking in abundance. Say it like you mean it. I am walking in abundance. Again. I am walking in abundance because the drought is over and the rain is here. Every time you say it, your reality catches up to your faith. Every time you speak it, heaven moves to confirm it. Every time you believe it, your life aligns with it. Because God's word never returns void. And His promise to you is this: you will lack no good thing. Your cup will overflow. Your barns will burst. And your peace will be unshakable. This isn't a maybe. This is a guarantee from the throne room of heaven. And if you've received that in your spirit, get ready. Because the next door you walk through, it leads straight into the land of more than enough. You're about to be surprised by how easy things start flowing. What used to require your blood, sweat, and tears will now come with favor. What drained you before will now develop you. What once tested your patience will now testify to your promotion. Because this is not just about abundance in your hands, it's abundance in your being. You've become the kind of person God can trust with overflow. Not just to keep it, but to distribute it. You're not hoarding blessings, you're hosting them. You're a vessel now, an open channel. And what flows through you will touch generations. You see, God didn't just want to bless you. He wanted to make you a blessing. That's why the journey felt longer than expected. That's why the pruning was so painful. Because God wasn't just preparing the gift, He was preparing the giver. And now, it all makes sense. You don't cry the same way anymore. You don't panic the way you used to. You walk in rooms differently. You feel the shift. The spiritual weather has changed. The pressure has lifted. And the ground beneath your feet is no longer dry. It's fertile. Speak life into it. Speak multiplication. Speak favor. Because your words now carry weight. What you speak over your life echoes in heaven. God is listening. Angels are moving. Doors are opening. Chains are breaking. And not just for you, for your bloodline. What ends with you will never touch your children. The drought that stopped your parents, you've broken it. The lack that ran through your family, you've reversed it. This is generational abundance, and you're the first in your line to step into it. That's why the battle was so fierce. That's why the enemy threw everything at you. Because if you made it, if you survived, the curse would be broken. And now it is. The chains are shattered. The old patterns are done. And a new legacy begins with you. You don't even realize it yet, but people are going to look at your life and say, "How did you do it?" They'll see the fruit, but they won't know the fight. They'll see the table, but they won't understand the wilderness. But that's okay. You don't need them to understand. You just need to keep eating. Because that table, God prepared it in the presence of your enemies. Yes, even the ones who mocked you. The ones who turned their backs. The ones who said you were crazy to wait on God. They're about to watch you feast. And not out of spite, but out of divine order. Because your harvest is not for revenge. It's for revelation. So they'll know that the God you trusted is real. Don't shrink when it happens. Don't apologize for the blessing. Don't dim your light to make others comfortable. Shine, chosen one. Shine like someone who came through the fire and didn't smell like smoke. Shine like someone who trusted God in the dark and now gets to walk in the light. Shine because your shine doesn't steal, it inspires. It reminds others of what's possible when you don't give up. This is your influence season. People are watching. People are listening. People are changing because of what God is doing in your life. And that's not pressure, it's purpose. You didn't survive the drought to go silent in abundance. You're not meant to hide your light under fear. You're meant to speak boldly, walk freely, and testify loudly. Because the same God who delivered you can deliver them too. Let them see. Let them hear. Let them believe. Because miracles are contagious. One breakthrough opens the door for another. And right now, your life is the doorway. You're walking proof that delay is not denial. That broken season still birthed beautiful outcomes. That quiet years still produce loud victories. That droughts don't last forever. But God's faithfulness does. So lift your head. Lift your expectations. Lift your faith. You are not going back to lack. You are not revisiting the wilderness. You are not returning to the version of yourself that questioned their worth. You've evolved. You've ascended. You've entered a realm where overflow is normal. Get used to it. Get used to being provided for. Get used to waking up in peace. Get used to divine opportunities. Because from now on, your life won't feel like survival. It'll feel like strategy. Every step ordered. every door intentional, every delay designed. God has mapped out your movements with precision, and now that you've surrendered, nothing is wasted. Even the hard parts had purpose. Even the heartbreak carried wisdom. Even the silence carried seeds. And now, the harvest, rich, ripe, ready. It's not coming someday. It's not distant. It's here. And it's not just for your comfort. It's for God's glory. So don't just enjoy it. Steward it. Honor it. Multiply it. Because to whom much is given, much is required. And you have much now. Much favor, much grace, much visibility, much impact. So stand tall, breathe deep, smile like someone who finally knows they've made it out of the drought. Because you have. And what's ahead will make you forget how hard it was to get here. Not because it didn't matter, but because what's coming is so much greater. You're no longer just surviving. You're thriving. Now that you're thriving, everything feels different. Even time seems to move in your favor. The moments that used to slip through your fingers now work for you, not against you. Your days are now filled with divine appointments, strategic alignments, connections you couldn't have made if you tried. That's because you've stepped into God's timing, and nothing is more unstoppable than a soul aligned with heaven. This is what overflow looks like. Not just more money or more things, but more clarity, more peace, more purpose. You wake up and know why you're here. You're not wandering anymore. You're walking. You're not questioning anymore. You're certain. Because once God speaks abundance into your life, confusion cannot live there. You no longer chase validation. You carry confirmation. You know now, God has chosen you. Not randomly, not by mistake, but on purpose, with purpose. And because of that, your life has shifted into prophetic rhythm. Every setback, every loss, every delay, it was rehearsed by heaven. God factored in your mistakes, your enemies, your tears, and still, the outcome remains the same. Victory. You were designed to win. It's not arrogance, it's alignment. And as you walk in this abundance, you begin to see that the real reward isn't the wealth, it's the wisdom. The lessons you gained in the drought are now your currency. You understand now what matters. You discern the real from the fake. You don't waste your time, your energy, or your voice anymore. You've become intentional, surgical, precise, because you know what it cost you to get here. You're no longer impressed by shiny things. You're drawn to anointed things. The spaces you enter, you bless them. The people you encounter, you shift them. That's the weight of glory that follows a chosen one who survived the drought. You don't just walk, you carry something. And people feel it even before you speak. You used to wonder why you didn't fit in. Now you know. It's because you were never meant to. You were meant to stand out, to break molds, to lead the way into new territory. And now that you've arrived, you carry a new authority. Doors don't open for you because you begged. They open because your presence demands it. Not in pride, but in divine recognition. Heaven knows you. Hell fears you. Earth honors you. This is what happens when God says the drought is over. This is what happens when heaven opens the floodgates. And it's not just blessing you, it's backpaying you. Every season where you felt unseen, compensated. Every tear you cried in secret, counted. Every sacrifice you made when no one clapped for you, multiplied. God is not just restoring you, He's rewarding you. For faith, for obedience, for trust, for staying when you could have walked away, for praising when you felt empty, for praying when nothing changed, because all along, heaven was watching. And now, the divine response has arrived. Opportunities are chasing you. People are being assigned to help you. Resources are being released on your behalf. And none of this is accidental. This is the manifestation of a promise, a word spoken over your life before you were born, a covenant sealed in the Spirit long before you even knew what you were carrying. And now the time has come. No more waiting. No more hoping. No more wondering if it's real. It's real. And it's happening now. You've entered the season where your dreams begin to match your reality, where what you saw in your spirit now shows up in your space. This is not imagination anymore. It's manifestation. And you're not surprised. You're grateful. Because deep down, you always knew. You knew you were different. You knew you were called. Even when life tried to bury it, your spirit whispered, "There's more." And now the more has arrived. Not because you chased it, but because you became it. You became the version of yourself that could receive abundance. And now that you've grown, God can trust you with it. That's why it didn't come sooner. It wasn't punishment, it was protection. You had to heal. You had to evolve. You had to release old identities that no longer served the future God had for you. That's what the drought did. It purified your soil. And now that the rain has come, the growth is explosive. People will call it sudden, but you'll know the truth. This is years of hidden faith blooming in public. This is what divine timing looks like. And it only gets better from here. Because abundance in God's kingdom is not a one-time event. It's a lifestyle. You're not just visiting this place of overflow. You're living here now. You've been relocated by grace, shifted by favor, planted by purpose. And your roots go deep. Nothing can shake you now. Not opinions, not opposition, not even the uncertainty of the future. Because when you've seen God come through, fear loses its grip, doubt loses its power, anxiety loses its voice. You walk differently now. You don't ask, "Will I make it?" You declare, "I was born for this," because you were. And now, every step you take is on promised ground. The same ground that once felt dry is now rich with possibility. And this is only the beginning. What God is doing in your life will not only change you, it will outlive you. Legacy is forming. Destinies are aligning. And everything that once looked like a mess, it's turning into a message, the kind that echoes across generations, the kind that says, "There is no drought God cannot end." You are the proof. You are the promise fulfilled. You are the evidence that when God says it's time for abundance, nothing and no one can stop it. The shift you feel is not temporary, it's eternal. This isn't just a breakthrough, it's a birthing. What's coming out of you now is not just for your benefit. It's for others to witness, to be inspired, and to believe that if God did it for you, He can do it for them too. You are becoming the blueprint, the evidence of divine turnaround, the walking, breathing testimony that God is still in the miracle-working business. People will look at you and wonder, how did they do it? And you'll smile, not out of pride, but from the quiet knowing that it wasn't you. It was Him. God did it. God arranged it. God lifted you when no one else could. And that's why no one can take the credit. No one can steal your story. Because your story has His fingerprints all over it. This is the season where silence becomes sound, where the quiet prayers you prayed in the dark now shout through your life in the light. The blessings are loud. The favor is visible. The glory is undeniable. You're not hiding anymore. You're not dimming your light to make others comfortable. You're not playing small so people won't be intimidated. No, God's too big for that. His plans for you are too massive to keep contained. So shine, loudly, boldly, confidently, because your shine is not for show, it's for service. God didn't bless you just to elevate you. He blessed you to release you. Into places, into rooms, into conversations that need your light. And not just any light, your light. The light forged through pain, refined through pressure, purified by fire. You carry something holy now. And you don't have to prove it. You just have to be it. Because the right people will recognize you, not by what you say, but by what you carry. Your spirit will speak before your mouth ever opens. That's the mark of those who've walked through drought and made it out. Their aura is different. Their presence is heavy with wisdom, with anointing, with truth. That's you now. And the world is waiting for what you've become. You've been hidden for so long, but now God is announcing you, not to show off, but to showcase His power, to demonstrate what happens when someone refuses to give up, even when everything said they should. You're God's exhibit of endurance, His example of elevation, His evidence that obedience pays off. You didn't skip the process. You submitted to it. And that's why your abundance has depth. It's not shallow. It's not skin deep. It's rooted, grounded, built on the solid foundation of divine timing and spiritual integrity. And because you took the long road, the foundation is unshakable. This isn't just your harvest. This is your homecoming. You're not returning to who you used to be. You're stepping fully into who you really are. And that version of you doesn't settle anymore, doesn't beg for crumbs anymore, doesn't tolerate being misunderstood. Because you know now, those who are assigned to you will understand you. And those who aren't, let them go. Let them talk. Let them judge. Let them wonder. Because you're not here for approval. You're here for assignment. And your assignment is too critical to be distracted. You're carrying something for this generation. A voice, a vision, a vibration that cannot be replaced. And heaven has backed you with all of its force. That's why you're rising now. That's why doors are opening now. That's why what used to resist you now requires you. You've been sent. And abundance is part of your package. Not just so you can have more, but so you can give more. You're not hoarding blessings. You're distributing them. You're a conduit, not a container. The flow that's coming to you will pass through you. People will be fed because you obeyed. People will be healed because you showed up. People will be free because you shared your truth. You didn't survive for yourself. You survived for them. So walk in that boldly, not arrogantly, but righteously. Because righteous doesn't mean perfect. It means aligned. Aligned with the will of God. Aligned with the rhythm of heaven. And you, chosen one, are aligned like never before. You feel it in your bones. That something is different now. The fear that once ruled you is gone. The confusion that clouded your vision has lifted. The sadness that lingered like smoke has vanished. And in its place, peace, deep, anchored peace. Because when God declares that your drought is over, He doesn't just stop the lack. He brings the fullness. And that fullness is starting to spill over into every part of your life. Relationships are healing. Opportunities are expanding. Creativity is exploding. Finances are multiplying. Doors are swinging open without you even knocking. That's not luck. That's not coincidence. That's prophetic fulfillment. And there's nothing the enemy can do about it. He tried to delay it. He tried to distract you. He tried to make you forfeit the promise. But you stayed. You stood. You prayed when it didn't make sense. You believed when logic said you were wasting your time. And that is why you're blessed. Because faith, real faith, moves mountains. And you moved mountains just by believing. So now, don't shrink. Don't second-guess yourself. Don't apologize for your blessings. You earned this through obedience. You qualified through consistency. You endured what would have broken others. And now heaven is honoring you. Get used to the rain, because it won't stop. Get used to the overflow, because it's your new normal. Get used to being favored, because God has placed a mark on you that can't be removed. This is the season where it all comes together, where nothing is wasted, where even your pain becomes prophetic. And your name, it's being whispered in rooms you've never entered, because abundance makes noise, and your life is about to speak louder than your words ever could. As you stand in the midst of all this abundance, remember, it's not just for you. You are part of a much bigger picture. Your rise isn't just for personal gain, it's for kingdom gain. You're a vessel, a conduit of blessing. And the more you receive, the more you'll be able to give. It's a divine cycle. What flows to you, flows through you. And that flow is meant to touch lives far beyond your own. The people around you are about to see the glory of God in ways they never have before. Some will be amazed, others will be shaken, but none of them will leave the same. Your transformation is their testimony. Your testimony is their hope. You're walking proof that if God can take you from nothing to something, He can do it for them too. But even as the abundance pours in, remember that it's not about the material wealth. It's about the spiritual wealth that accompanies it. What you're receiving now is a gift, but it comes with responsibility. You are being entrusted with resources, influence, and favor for a higher purpose. Don't let the blessings change you. Let them change the world around you. As you receive abundance, make sure you're still rooted in humility. Keep your heart in the right place. Remember that the source of your blessings is God, and it's His will that you prosper. You're not here to boast, but to build. You're not here to compete, but to complete the vision He's placed in you. And it won't always be easy. The enemy will try to throw distractions in your path. He'll try to convince you that you don't deserve this. He'll attempt to make you doubt the very blessings God is pouring out on you. But remember this: you've already won. Your past struggles don't disqualify you from the promises God has made. In fact, they qualify you. Because you've endured, because you've stayed faithful, because you've trusted when others doubted. You've proven your character. And now, God is rewarding you. The enemy's tactics won't work against you anymore. He'll try to confuse you, to make you second-guess your purpose. But the truth is clear. Your purpose is tied to your prosperity. Your mission is tied to your blessing. God has given you everything you need to fulfill the calling on your life. He didn't bring you this far just to leave you. He didn't elevate you just to let you fall. And what's even more powerful, as you continue to walk in His abundance, you'll begin to notice that it's not just you who is being blessed. Those around you will experience the overflow of your life. Your family will see the change. Your friends will feel the shift. Those who doubted you will begin to ask, how? They'll start to ask questions that only you can answer. What happened to you? What changed? And you'll be able to say, God happened. His favor happened. This is the season where you not only receive, but you also give. God is calling you to be a blessing to others. He's asking you to be the bridge for someone else's breakthrough. And this will require you to be bold, to step out of your comfort zone and be generous with what He has given you. Whether it's your time, your resources, or your wisdom, God is asking you to extend your hand to those who need it. You've been elevated to be a blessing, not to sit back and hoard what God has given you. The wealth that is flowing into your life is not just for personal luxury. It's to impact those around you. You are the answer to someone else's prayer. You are the solution to someone's problem. Your success isn't just for you. It's to position you to bless others. And as you do, as you pour into others, the overflow continues. The more you give, the more you receive. The more you sow, the more you reap. This is God's economy. It doesn't make sense in the natural, but it works in the supernatural. And as you become a vessel of His blessings, watch how the floodgates open even wider. But here's the key. Don't get comfortable. Don't think that just because you've experienced a breakthrough that it's the end. No, this is just the beginning. Abundance isn't a destination. It's a lifestyle. And God has called you to live in that overflow every single day. The blessings you're experiencing now are only a taste of what's to come. He has so much more for you. You've been faithful. You've trusted when it didn't make sense. You've walked through the fire, and you've come out stronger. Now, the rewards are here. The shift has happened. And as you step into this new season of abundance, remember to stay grounded in gratitude. Remain thankful for everything that God has done and for everything He's about to do. The more you thank Him, the more the abundance flows. Gratitude is the key that unlocks more of God's blessings. But also, never forget the lessons of the drought. Never forget the times when you had to trust with nothing, when you had to pray with empty hands, when you had to walk by faith, not by sight. Those lessons are what built you. They are what made you strong enough to handle this new season. Without those lessons, you wouldn't be able to carry the weight of the blessing God is releasing to you now. So walk boldly into your future. Walk with confidence. Walk with authority. You are not the same person who walked through that dry season. You have been refined. You have been purified. You are now a vessel of honor, chosen by God to carry His blessings, His purpose, and His glory. And as you step into this season of abundance, know this: your drought is over. Your time of waiting, of struggling, is over. The doors that were once closed to you are now wide open. The resources you've prayed for are being released into your hands, and the favor of God will follow you wherever you go.